Welcome back to Ravens Wire Report, the home for every heartbeat, highlight, and headline from Baltimore's gridiron battles. Tonight, we're talking about a name that may not have been on your radar before Thursday night, but is now making serious noise in camp. Rookie defensive lineman Aeneas Peebles. In a preseason opener that gave Ravens fans plenty to smile about, Peebles' performance stood out as the kind of story you hope to see in August. An under-the-radar rookie making a legitimate push for a roster spot. The Ravens entered the 2025 offseason with a plan. Get younger, get faster, and get deeper. General Manager Eric DeCosta had one of the busiest draft weekends in team history, making 11 selections and bringing in multiple undrafted free agents. The reality is harsh. Only so many players can make the final 53-man roster. But preseason is the golden stage for bubble players to prove they belong. Against the Indianapolis Colts, Baltimore's rookies seized that opportunity, and Peebles might have seized the biggest chunk of attention. Peebles came into this game fighting uphill. Early in the offseason, he was seen as a probable lock for the roster, thanks to his explosive college tape from Virginia Tech and the versatility he showed in rookie minicamp. But as the summer wore on, that path became crowded. The Ravens made two notable veteran signings. John Jenkins, brought in after Michael Pierce's retirement, and Brent Urban, returning for his 8th season in Baltimore. Those moves weren't just about filling depth, they were about bringing in trusted, experienced bodies who know how to play within this defensive scheme. And when you combine those signings with the already strong trio of Justin Madubuike, Travis Jones, and Broderick Washington Jr., you start to see how competitive that defensive line room has become. That's what made Thursday night so important for Peebles. Under the lights at M&T Stadium, in front of a crowd hungry to see how this next wave of Ravens talent would perform, he didn't just show up, he made plays. 3 tackles, a key pass deflection on 3rd down, and constant disruption in the backfield. The box score tells part of the story, but the film shows more. Quick first step, low pad level, and a relentless motor that forced the Colts' interior offensive line into uncomfortable positions all night. That batted pass in particular was a momentum shifter, halting an Indianapolis drive and feeding into a defensive performance that set the tone for the evening. Peebles' strength lies in something Baltimore could use more of from its interior depth, a consistent pass rush threat from the inside. Jenkins, at 6'3" and over 320 pounds, is a pure run stuffer, built to clog lanes and eat double teams. Urban brings versatility and gap discipline, with 10 career sacks over a decade in the league, but he's never been considered a high-volume disruptor in passing situations. Peebles, on the other hand, has that burst and hand quickness to collapse the pocket, and that's exactly what he showed against Indy. Now, the challenge for the coaching staff is real. Do you keep 6 interior defensive linemen to make room for Peebles, knowing it might cost you depth elsewhere, maybe in the secondary, at linebacker, or among the offensive line swing spots? Head coach John Harbaugh and defensive coordinator Zach Orr have already praised the competition in camp, but they've also made it clear, roster spots aren't awarded for one big night. You have to stack good days, good reps, and good tape. Still, the upside here is undeniable. Peebles has the kind of profile the Ravens have historically developed well: high motor, technically sound, and coachable. Think back to how players like Pernell McPhee or even Michael Pierce himself rose from limited expectations to become key contributors. This is a franchise that knows how to turn raw potential into reliable production. Beyond the stats, Peebles also showed an intangible that matters in Baltimore, a relentless energy that matches the identity of this defense. Ravens football has always been about attitude as much as execution. When a young player comes in, plays with urgency, and impacts the game in multiple ways, the veterans notice. That kind of momentum in the locker room can push a bubble player over the top in roster decisions. With 2 more preseason games to go, the story isn't finished. The next test will be consistency. Can people show that same disruptive ability against different opponents, different blocking schemes, and in situations where teams have a bit more tape on him? If he can, the Ravens' defensive line could enter Week 1 not just deep, but dangerous from top to bottom. And here's the bigger takeaway for Ravens fans. This roster is loaded. When an undrafted or late draft rookie has to put on a performance like this just to enter the conversation, it speaks to the strength and balance of the depth chart. Competition is fierce, and that's exactly how you want it in August. Iron sharpens iron, and Peebles' emergence could be the spark that pushes this defensive front to an even higher level. So what do you think, Ravens flock? Has Aeneas Peebles already done enough to claim his spot on the 53-man roster? Or does he still have more to prove? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that like button if you love seeing under-the-radar rookies make noise, and subscribe to Ravens Wire Report so you don't miss a single update as we march toward Week 1. This is shaping up to be one of the deepest and most competitive Raven squads in recent memory, and that's a great problem to have.